Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to CCS Week 5, Day 10. I am your host, Johnny Fluffy Osornio, and with me today on the first match, Emzo.
What up?
How you
It's
doing
been a
today?
while.
Yeah, it's been a while since
Yeah,
we've hooked up together here.
it's just been me in town the last few times, so it's good to try this out again.
Yeah, definitely excited to get into the matchup. I think that we have a fairly good matchup. It's not the best of the best as far as the team standings go, but they're very, very close in standings. Paradox coming in at number 8. NerVa coming in at number 6. Both of them 2-2. If you actually look at their stats right here on the screen, I mean, they're fairly close on their matchup. So this could be a really exciting game today.
I do hope that these teams, like being halfway through now, have had plenty of footage to watch of each other. They've had plenty of time to plan and prep and train all that during these last 7 weeks. So
Right.
I hope at least one of these teams is up to their game, and that we'll see like a big. I'd actually like to see one of the teams just crush on one map, and then it go back and forth all the way to map 3. But like just to see one of the teams really kind of coming out ahead of the pack
Right.
because of all that time.
Showing their preparation, the ability, you
Yeah.
hope that to this point there's been 4 weeks of play, there's plenty of film to review. So the hope is that our players and our captains do that. But I think right now, while we get the players in the lobby, we'll just do a quick rundown of each team's roster. First up, we have Paradox, which is JT, Mayhem, Heavy, Lixo, and Vortex. Lixo, a recent addition. I don't know if you know, but they used to play. He used to play for Vision Gaming, I believe it was. They were a very strong team too. I think he's a solid individual player. I think their standout fragger, so to speak, right now has to be Vortex. He did get the first league ace, and he's been performing pretty good so far. Sure, what you think
Looking
about
forward to
these
see them.
guys?
Yeah, I mean, like they're a pretty solid team, I think, for the most part. It'd be interested to see how the new guy performs. I mean, changing up one guy doesn't sound like a lot, but sometimes that really affects team chemistry in
Yeah.
terms of not to mention if he displaces someone else from their role. Like if you pick up a guy and you have like a role that needs to be filled, sure. But if he displaces someone else's role, then all of a sudden you got to shuffle around the roles. That can really kind of mess with the chemistry and what maps that they're good at. So hopefully they've had a good chance to do some at least scrimming with the new guy, make sure that he's well prepped.
Yeah, I know they've gotten in a couple. The one thing that you just touched on, which was if they try to pander to him more so than just kind of put him in what's already in place, that's where it becomes very difficult because, this game is so heavily favored for team play. Everyone has a role. It's almost like League of Legends in the sense that you are what you are and that's what you play. So you put all your prep work in, the gun feels a certain way, the way you maneuver a map and set up. So, it's going to be interesting to see how he comes into play and how he affects them. But now we got NerVa up, which is the home team for this matchup, which just so you guys are aware, home team gets the first ban and pick. So that's the home field advantage. But we got Atticus, Vex, RTC, Jonimal, and Exalt. Exalt in new this week. He's been on their team for a little while now. I think this might be his first time starting in the CCS. I'd have to look up the stats. I'm not 100% sure. Honestly, these players are really nutty when you run into them in ranked. Everyone from the top of the pros to the bottom say that these guys have some of the best guns. It's just a matter of can they translate that into a more conformed, controlled environment where every little mistake matters.
I think that usually comes down to scrimming more so than playing ranked, because ranked is such a different beast
Right.
than scrims and actual like competitive thing. I mean, yeah, sure, people will run strats sometimes in ranked, but unless you're up against a 5 stack, like chances are it's not going to be anywhere close to how you normally play. I mean, that does show some adaptability though, being able to let's say they're running strats in ranked and having to contest against really weird, different things. That does have its advantages, but from what I've heard from a lot of people, playing ranked just teaches you bad habits in terms of versus scrims. So hopefully that translates over here and that they don't just get wrecked.
Yeah, I played with NerVa a little bit just recently, and they do seem like they have a good cohesive 4 unit. I'm actually, like I said before, I'm very excited for this matchup. I think the two teams match up really well with one another. This one's going to come down to, does Lixo fit properly? Have these guys as Exalt fitting? Both kind of the case of implementing one new player. But if you would have to go ahead and just pick one or pick a side, which one do you think this is leans towards currently?
I mean, I feel like I know Paradox a little bit better. but at the same time, like, with the change ups in rosters and things like that, it's hard to say. Like, I mean, like you said earlier, I feel like this is pretty evenly balanced between these two teams, depending on whether or not they get their maps. I feel like when you have two evenly placed teams, the maps are even that much more important
Right.
because that's where they get the edge. So I feel like hopefully one of these teams can win the other team's map. In terms of, I think that's the team that I would definitely favor, is the team that can do that.
Okay.
Depending, and we haven't seen the map bans yet, so it's hard to say, how that's going down. But I'm leaning a little bit towards Paradox, but it's hard to call it at this point.
Yeah, it's a little bit hard to call it. I think they're getting the links now, so the ban should be starting out shortly. History has shown basically that we're most likely going to see Oregon, Border, Clubhouse.
Yeah,
They seem to be the three. I would really like to see a little bit more adaptability.
I like to
Catch
see
someone
some
off guard.
consulate. Like consulate's, I think, a good one as well. That's sometimes a good one to throw.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's still like an old classic map, so it's not like there's no strats for it.
Yeah, right. I like personally. I mean, I guess since I've been around a little longer, I like the older maps. I think most of them are a little bit more team centric.
Yeah.
Oh wow, bans are coming out really fast. First ban was Cafe by NerVa, then Consulate by Paradox. And
Well, no
Coastline,
consulate.
no Coastline. Yeah, looking towards the standard. I would see what I would like to see here is where you take one of these maps that everyone's playing these three maps. So let's ban two of them. Let's play a different strategic element. Let's ban two of these maps that they're comfortable on, and let's get comfortable on some other maps. I really think that that's a way that you could catch people off guard that isn't really heavily being used currently right now.
Yeah, I mean, some teams, like, I feel like if you want to counter strat and like ban other people's maps, you have to have a deep map pool yourself.
Right.
Like, if you're in a situation where you have to have your maps, you can't do that as much. Like, if you just only have a very small map pool. So I think teams that are really smart about broadening their map pool can really counter ban. We saw that, for example, last season from Zissou. You saw their bans all over the place because they were counter banning to the other team because
Right.
they didn't focus their map pool. They really had a much broader one than usual. And I think that is the mark of a more mature team.
Right.
Now, some of these teams are a bit newer and things like that, so that may not be the case. They really might have to try and get to their certain maps.
Chalet was banned by NerVa using that home field advantage to ban that one away, and then we have picked. I'm sorry, picked, and then we have Border picked by Paradox with Oregon being our decider map. Two of the ones that we touched on. Chalet, another frequently played, almost in my opinion, like a default map if you're going to have one that everyone's kind of comfortable with. But hey, we feel a little bit more confident today. Let's go ahead and get Chalet.
Yeah, I think Chalet's a good map. I'd just like to see a little bit more variation on the attacks. I feel like we see kind of the same things over and over and over. I mean, the defenses aren't going to get terribly creative, but the attacks haven't really been either. And it's getting a little clubhousey to watch sometimes.
Yeah, almost that. It's that stagnant gameplay. You're going to see it the same way every time. Not a lot of deviation. It's just a matter of who's going to hit the shot, who's going to make the least amount of mistakes. Pretty sure, as you guys see here, though, we have everyone in lobby, so we should be getting underway very soon. I haven't made a prediction yet, but I'm going to go out and say I think that this one will go over 2-1 to Paradox.
Yeah, we'll see. I have yet to cast a single CCS match that goes to map 3, so
There's only been 2 of them. The rest have been, there's been a couple off stream, but only 2 live so far to map 3s.
Yeah, definitely in a odd thing. But again, as you said earlier, these are fairly evenly balanced teams. So if we're going to see it, it's going to be in a situation like this.
Yeah, I'm definitely
But I do
excited.
hope the 8th place team can manage to work their way up, so it's not just 6th creating a larger gap.
Right. And I almost feel like, they're really close. 8 and 6 are close, but you also have to think it's only been 4 weeks. And honestly, they have the same exact record. Their stats are all near identical. The advantage was actually to NerVa is they have less rounds against them so far this season. So if anything, I'd say it slightly favors them as far as the matchup goes. But now we get to find out because we are into the first map here, which is Chalet.
Should be good to see it. We're going to start downstairs instead of kitchen wine cellar. I think there isn't as clear of an established meta where to start on this particular map anymore, just because of a lot of shakeups in the meta and operator changes and things like that.
Right.
But wine cellar is still a pretty good one. It'd be nice to see someone really actually figure out game room or master bedroom despite playing ducks trying it. It only seemed to work when it was a surprise tactic. So still no real variation in that. We're going to see a Capitao, though. It should be interesting, and how they're actually going to utilize that. As we discussed, too, when it comes to the first round, they may not know which site's going to pick.
Exactly. That's what I was getting ready to touch on. I am a big fan of deviating from the standard. You know, change up your game plan. And right here, on my own personal team, we always implement a general rule of thumb on maps like this constantly where there's a potential use for a need for that thermite to get into the garage or the wall. You make sure that very first round that you bring it, just in case a scenario like this, because now they're going to be forced to choose. They're going to have to choose maybe one hatch, and then you can use 2 to get inside a garage, or you could use 1 for hatch and 2 to get inside a wine, or 1 on each. And I just feel like it's better to err on the side of caution in a situation like this.
Yeah, in a situation like this, it's definitely hard because, let's say, for example, they want to push wine. It would be probably good to do 1 on the wall-facing car garage, and then maybe 2 to get in on the closet. But this is a situation where then you get no hatches. So it is definitely a big trade-off. I agree. I think thermite on the first round is always worth picking just because of that situation, because you don't know what they're going to do, and you don't want them to catch a starting advantage and get the momentum early by picking something you weren't expecting.
Right. Because this game reminds me a lot of chess. You have to come prepared, and you have to come prepared for what you think they may have prepared for you. And to eliminate one of those variants by using that thermite on round 1, it just saves you the grace. So hopefully that doesn't come back to get them, but it does look like they're going to be trying to push from the wine side.
Missed it. There we go.
Oh, and he missed it. Yeah, he gets it with the second one. I think I'm a second behind you.
Yeah. Yeah, it looked like he just got it just barely before getting shot out by bandits. So that is important because that puts a really big window for them to shoot in that they don't have to Habana now.
Yeah, I do like the use of the mirror right there inside of that wine closet, but Twitch doing his job. You got to be paying attention to that. That's why I always say if you're going to use a mirror, might as well pair it with a mute. At least then you have more of an ability to see that. Twitch can't jump over those.
I agree that the inability to jump is a huge handicap people aren't exploiting.
1:45 left in this round so far. No deaths in, but they do have the wine wall open. On board with Ash, he's peeking in, puts a little bit of pre-fire down, but doesn't catch anyone. JT's still heavy on roam here. He is upstairs.
He got caught on that drone, though.
The drone doesn't see him there. He gets it down. Vortex picks up 1. Jonimal's down. Ooh, Vortex gets the double kill. Now Vex is down 2, so it's 5v3, excuse me. 1:15 remaining in favor of the defenders, doing a fantastic job on the roam. Vortex was able to sneak around through that dining side and pick him up on the flank. Ash still stuck down the side. Wow, and a triple kill. Vortex coming to play today, trying to repeat his performance from last time. 1 minute remaining, pretty much all but over. He's going to get another one looking for the quadra kill. He's able to get it. That's 4. And I'm pulling for you. Let's see you get your second ace, Vortex.
Yeah, this castle is just murdering them from behind.
Yeah, if you're going to push the wine side, you're going to have to at least watch yourself. You cannot allow that to happen. I mean, that is a devastating
Yeah, they were on such a good start, too. Oh, but then he catches him.
Oh, and he pushes him. He gets it. Another ace. The 5K. Our 2-time ace warrior, Vortex, doing his pretty much everything this round, I guess you could say, and gets the first round going over to Paradox. And wow, that was exciting.
Yeah, you weren't kidding when you said Vortex was the one to watch out for.
Apparently.
Yeah, I mean, that starting off the round with an ace.
Definitely way to set the tone, set that bar high.
Got to put them on the back foot, to say the least. And they've got to feel bad, too, because it was a simple flank. They didn't just, push into sight and lose, the side of attack. They got flanked and just ripped up. That's got to feel bad.
Yeah, and honestly, he sat right there in that plant hallway, right outside the kitchen, for a while. I mean, he sat there, and it almost looked like he was playing a pulse the way he was kind of meticulously moving back and forth, just playing off the sound. He was able to get 1, get 2, get the other one. So fantastic job by Castle. Let's hope that they can turn it around and do something big on defense here to bring it back to 1-1.
Not going to be easy.
Pretty standard reinforcements going out so far. Gonna get the inside hallway wall of that kitchen. Gonna get the west main wall for trophy.
10 seconds left.
See some barbed wire on top of the window. I always like to pre-open these hatches, though. It's very useful whenever you need to retreat, especially if there's a fuse or you get poked into the corner. Now, speaking of fuse, they do have a fuse on the attackers, so it would allow a little bit more rotating ability. Maybe they'll open it up later on since they do have that smoke.
Well, then it feels like Paradox really picked the right lineup for this particular bomb site. I'm not sure about the last attack, which fell apart, but this one clearly seems designed to attack Trophy, as it's got the buck and the fuse, and then the Blackbeard for the windows and kitchen windows. So definitely picked smart on. They played the chess game correctly.
Yeah, they got lucky, so to speak. Because if, like we said, if you catch them off guard, go to that alternate site first, they would have did the same thing. They would have had to been forced to choose, but shoulda, woulda, coulda. We are here in round 2.
Going live.
They have entered inside of master bedroom, and Habana is getting the hatch open already. Mayhem controlling the outside ledge.
Have recovered their diffuser.
Interesting camera glitch right there. JT repelling up outside of master also. Blackbeard doing a gun battle back and forth between, I'm not sure who it is. It almost sounds like a rook inside of the trophy room.
That's usually who you put in there, so it wouldn't surprise me. It's taking a lot of damage, though.
Very dangerous. Love how he's using, oh, and he's able to get the shield down. So now Blackbeard only has 1 shield left, 1 minute and 45 left. Honestly, that's not a bad trade-off, considering he only took about 40% damage there. I mean, he's still rook, he still can handle that. The first fuse charge going down into the dining, so it's going to be choking them inside of the kitchen. Oh, right there and across, Atticus is able to pick up Mayhem. Heavy actually able to pick up that lucky puck. And now Exhaust down. Heavy, oh no, he gets the team kill. That is actually the one bad thing. If you're gonna sit on the kitchen window, it actually can easily pop up and kill you. Very unfortunate turn of events for them. Yeah, feels bad, man. 1:15 left. 4v3 now in favor of NerVa with that TK.
Yeah, that's definitely not gonna feel good. That's the kind of thing that puts you on tilt a little bit. But that's the risks of bringing Fusey. At least you got a free kill for it. And that's rare, so
get a kill.
There's that.
It's very rare, you know, you want to use that. I mean, they had the guy in the kitchen. They were trying to use it properly. You can't put one in kitchen if you're going to play the kitchen. You have to play for the rotation, unfortunately, with the way that the puck system works. We do see some breachings going down to see if they can't catch them in the plant hallway or rotating into dining. There's one pretty much rotating between kitchen and dining. You have one inside of the trophy. And it looks like they have one all the way back on Rome still.
Well, it's still not looking good for the attackers. Down 26 seconds. They haven't made enough progress to really make this work against 4.
Ooh, Vex picks up one on Vortex, so he's able to bring it to a 4v3. Vex with the double kill, so now it's all up to him. Buck's able to get a trade back on a Vex, so his killing spree is ended. He sees him, he whips around. Oh, unfortunate timing. RTC able to finish up the kill onto JT. Unfortunately for them.
For JT.
Yeah, he's seen him. He turned around real quick. Like he almost made the adjustment. I'm a personal fan of if you have more than 3 seconds, you might as well just reload. But they were able to bring it back 1-1.
Yeah, it's like he had the ADS on the pistol right on the guy. Had he just pulled the trigger instead of spinning around, might have landed the headshot.
Definitely a way to know that he ain't cheating because he had no clue that he had him in his sights. He could have easily taken the shot, a little pew-pew action, and he would have been good to go.
Yeah.
But so now they know that they're going to be trophy, so they are going to bring that fuse. Pretty much the same lineup as they had before. But this time it may be a little bit more effective for them. I'm interested to see what their game plan is. I mean, the standard push is library, K9, go up on the backside of that master. Now see, they're actually playing this differently. You see the reinforcement going down upstairs, so it's looking like they're going to try to hold the pressure on master. And honestly, Emzo, this is probably the most difficult thing to do in all of these maps. To hold master bedroom on Chile is extremely difficult. There is 5 different entry points and at least 3 different choke points with crossfire. It's just a very dangerous game to play.
Yeah, it's risky. I mean, sure, you can try and control the ladders, but you can also get picked from the windows by doing that. So they have to have just the right angles and the right fallbacks, but they reinforce the hatches that they would use to escape even potentially. So they are setting themselves up to just, you know, win it or lose it up there. If they're going to throw their lives away potentially if they can't hold it. And the attackers are going to bring enough attackers up there to take it anyways. So it's going to be all down to whether or not they can be smart about it and whether or not NerVa do the proper droning.
Right, if they use their drones properly. Interesting enough, Fuse is bringing the LMG, so he's looking for all that firepower. They've spotted Heavy on drones, so they know that Valkyrie is upstairs. She's going to be playing on that reinforced wall. What I would have liked to see them do is once they know he's up there and they know he's playing it, they need to put someone up on the outside ledge of the other side of the master on the big window. You can see it easily from that side, and they wouldn't be able to play there any longer.
Habana could even hit that wall right there. She's right there. Could just open that up, and then Heavy's in a bad spot.
And she doesn't have a lot of uses for her Habana charges on this. Pretty much the one hatch is the only use. So I would also agree without any ADSs or anything stopping you, no bandit charges, you might as well open it up, and then no longer can they play safely in the hallway. Pulse is using that Paul charge from the kitchen window. He knows one's out there. He's going for the C4. Oh, he's actually able to get it. Good job by JT to use that C4 to take out Vex. Habana going to get the charge. Heavy is currently pulling the cord on a C4. He puts it back away. But it is now 5v4 in favor.
I gotta say, they're actually using the reinforced wall to their advantage, though. Like, they are kind of playing it and saying, like, rather than open it, we're gonna let them not be able to shoot through that wall then.
Right, they know we're here, but we're not going to let them do any damage. So now he's forced to fall back. As you've seen, Jaeger's taken very low and gets taken out by Johnimo. A very beautiful shot right on the dome of Vortex to tie it up. 4v4, 115 remaining, 110 remaining. Heavy still on roam. He's trying to play the basement, looking for that late flank. Mayhem is still doing his job. He's always roaming himself. He's holding down this library, and actually, I think they have completely forgot about him from the looks of the defenders, or the attackers, excuse me. Johnimo, he sees him. He gets damage down. He downs him. A little bit sloppy, but he's able to pick up the kill. It's now 4v3. No more Buck, no more Twitch. And, of course, Jaeger down also for the defenders. 44 seconds left. They've done a good job getting inside.
Now, they did exactly what they intended to do, which is hold the hell out of this. And now they're still here. They're still dug into the library side, forcing the attackers to try and find the right angles. 30 seconds left, and they still haven't killed the two people upstairs. This is, I would say, almost a lost cause for the attackers at this point, unless they win these gunfights really fast.
Yeah, if they don't do something as far as get in, get the... You know, they're limited on their side play. They have 2 outs. So if they can get in, get the 2 kills, they can get the plant. But if they leave these roamers up here, odds are that they're going to be able to flank them and finish them out. They have obtained control of kitchen. They know they're there, so they're going to be collapsing. Oh, what a fantastic job to watch the flank. Exalt gets Heavy, excuse me. RTC gets JT. JT was able to get Atticus. The bomb's going down. Wow, at the fraction of a second. It's 2v2. Oh, Lixo gets the kill. Mayhem gets a knife. It's just like we said, you cannot leave those players on roam. That's going to affect you every single time. And that round goes over to Paradox to put them up 2-1.
I actually liked that Smoke was trying to cover the hatch from the ground there by smoking it, but they just straight up jumped into it. And that's what surprised me. And that's what almost actually got them able to make the plant stick, was just jumping through that and then winning the gunfight on that flank when Heavy tried to come around from behind. But it just wasn't enough because, like you said, there's too many people left alive upstairs. Yeah, they got sight, but with that desperate amount of time, they had to plant and could not cover each other properly.
Yeah, there's not much you can do. I mean,
no.
Think about it. Whenever you're clearing top down, actually, yeah, you want to obtain control. You want to get the hatch, fuse charges, yada, yada, yada. Honestly, none of that means anything if you do not clear the roamers out. And if you know that you're safe upstairs momentarily, you have to make sure that you sit someone either on the blue or in game room or in library or somewhere where he can hear and call out the rotates. Because I'm sure what happened, Imzo, was they droned it out, they knew it was clear, and they just said, you know what, we're not worried about it, we have control. And then they just rotated up from the backside, and now once again they're upstairs and they have no clue.
Yeah, there's 3 stairwells in this map, so it is hard to control the roamers from coming back unless you pinch library. And that's the problem, is when teams like this try and push all master, exactly what you just saw happen. If you don't clear library and hold library, they just come right back up those stairs like a bunch of cockroaches coming out of the woodworks, and there's not much you can do about it.
Yeah.
So I think that was absolutely their mistake for not pinching from the other side.
Okay, so Ash is going up to this window. They know that the bomb is down in the basement. They already have control of the trophy, excuse me. But see, Atticus is sitting here in the plants hall, right in the dining room. He has no clue he's there. He droned him there. Let's see if Ash pushes up and utilizes that drone. You want to move with that drone. I really would have liked to seen Ash pushing a little bit more aggressively. You're Ash. You have a drone in there. Push with the drone. He did take a brief moment to look at that drone. He probably could have picked up the kill on that one. So a little bit of a misplay. Shouldn't come back to get him too much yet. 2:12 into this round.
Yeah, we'll see whether or not these guys can pick up a 3rd round or if it's just going to go back and forth and we end up in overtime.
Thermite going to be putting down his charge on this wine cellar wall in the closet. So they have that open. They're clearly going to be going for a wine take. No kills on the board currently for either team. Vortex does still have control. Wow, just as I say that, Lixo able to use that Blackbeard and blunt force his way into RTC, excuse me, and take him out.
Looking really good for the attackers.
Yeah,
5v4 and still a minute 30 left.
Ooh, shots going back and forth. Mayhem going very low. Valkyrie winning that exchange. A little bit of pre-fire on the wall into sight, seeing if you can't catch a cheeky little kill.
Atticus so close. If he even would have pre-fired through that door frame, might have hit him.
I really think he's doing a good job staying hidden so far on this room, because I don't think that they know that he is here. Vex in a very dangerous spot, but he's able to get a kill onto Mayhem and take out a drone in the process. Very aggressive peek onto that opening in the backside of Wine. Vortex able to get the kill into Atticus, so he's gone. It's now a 4v3 in favor of Paradox. 54 seconds left. He goes for the aggressive pick. He saw him on the drone. He thought he could get it, but he misses the shot, so Jonable takes out JT. Vex takes out Heavy. And it's a 3v2. Now it's in favor of NerVa. Blackbeard has a shield, but his shield's low on health. Excuse me. They have him pinged out, so they know Vex is on the corner. Oh, wow, you can't miss shots like that, Lick. So that was a free kill given away, but he does take Smoke down very low. Jonable is in the corner of Connector. He peeks him again.
This is just pea shooting. Somehow he's winning these, though.
He was able to get the down onto Valkyrie, so technically it's a 2v2 now. He's going to try to push in.
Got that wire, though.
Barbed wire slowing him down. He does have the bomb. He's just going to leave Valkyrie. I would opt to do the same thing. Going to go for the plant. He smokes out Blue, so they know he's there. They can easily push him. Is he going to be able to get it off in time? He's right in front of there. He sees him. He goes for the kill. He drops and he misses a huge potato. Jonable choked severely hard right there. So now we have the bomb down. Lixo finishing off his kill. That's a triple kill for him on this round. And a quadra kill. And honestly, that round should have went over to Paradox. Or excuse me, to NerVa, and I cannot believe the potato by Mira Jonable. Why? Just take your time and relax.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. It's like Blackbeard had this aura of like cloud to everyone's brain when he walked in. Like he was just picking them off without any seeming retaliation. It's like, did they see his shield and be like, oh, I shouldn't shoot because I'm gonna hit the I don't know. It just felt like everyone potatoed in that room. They had such an advantage too, because what they did is, since the garage door didn't get open, they were able to fall back to Connector, fall back into Snowmobile, and be able to play it safely from there, hold the angle, and all they had to do was stop him from getting in. Yet 3 people guarding one room couldn't manage to stop him. I mean, Jonable's potato was pretty bad as it was, but so was Valkyrie. Like, they all kind of just couldn't even shoot it, it seemed like. I don't know, I'm a little bit flustered just watching that without actually working.
Yeah, it's you know, you don't want to badger or pester or be rude to any of these guys or anything but just take this as a learning curve right here, guys. You know, in a situation like that, you got to think you're playing the bomb, you're playing entry, and if you was to look at their setup there, they didn't really have very good of a crossfire. They knew there was 2 people left, and they had 3. If you trade out, you win. So position yourself a little bit more aggressively up against that wall. You have the barbed wire. Don't let him get inside of your wine cellar. He just walked through the door with Valkyrie staring off into, I'm not quite sure what he was distracted by. Takes him down, is able to get the bomb down, and then, you know, the misplay by Jonable just kind of led. Overall, you just have to be a little bit more aware of what you have going for you and use those resources to your advantage.
Well, again, like you said, lesson learned, but now it is a point up here for Paradox guys, looking like they could take it to match point soon.
Finally got the advantage. They're up 3-1 now. We are in a round 5, 30 minutes into this round. A lot of droning going on. We do have Mira on defense in this garage basement area, which I personally do like the use of Mira. Ooh, Vortex getting very aggressive. As you can hear, there's some people breaking into his side.
Well, if anyone's going to do it, it'll be that guy.
Does seem like he's kind of on his own level right now. It's in. You can hear the footsteps as he walks up. I'm curious to see if he's able to get any kind of pick. Atticus has worked his way down into the basement hallway. So Thermite's going to be looking to get this charge open as soon as this goes off, but it is Bandit in there. So if Bandit hears it, he can play the charge. Didn't even attempt to get it, just kind of gave it up. So a good job by the attackers. Maybe a lackluster attempt by the defenders. We are 140 into this round. JT is upstairs on the roam. Currently have 2 roamers, 1 trophy, 1 upstairs. First smoke grenade canister, excuse me, going out. Jonable able to get the kill on a Vortex. So that was the castle we were talking about on Rome. So the trophy player is down. 125, the second smoke canister has went off. Exalt pushing inside of this little wine closet. Just barely misses him, but he's able to get the kill on Elixo. Mayhem trades right back though. Exalt's down 2. Atticus takes out Heavy. No Mira, no smoke, no castle. Wow. Mayhem is able to kill Vex on that one. He's in there. He's in the corner. Gonna have to hold tight. He still has the castle wall. Wow, good drop shot by JT, as much as I hate to say that.
Oh, mid-sprint.
Atticus is able to get JT. He should have been a little bit more on his guard there. Just too much shift key. Now it's all left on Mayhem here. 45 seconds left, so the time is in his favor, but the player advantage is not, because it is 2v1. They have Buck and Ash.
Yeah, Buck's doing a smart thing, and he's droning for the Ash so that the Ash knows exactly where to push. And he tries to pre-fire it as well, which is good. Forced Mayhem out of position, but at least Mayhem has his deployable shield to fall back on, because they can't land the grenades where he's at now. There we go. He's trying to push, but there's the deployable shield.
Aggressive play is pretty much all he's going to have right there. I opt for the same thing, and honestly, you have to peek a little aggressively there. Hope to get the one peek and get the other one entering. So a good try by Mayhem there. Not much he can do, and a good way to finish it off and bring this one closer. So it's now 3-2 in favor of Paradox after that round went over to NerVa.
Yeah, NerVa bringing it back a little bit here at least. We'll see if they can get one more round and stop it from being match point. But if not, you know, once the momentum's kind of in the advantage of one team, it tends to stay that way without a strong comeback. But, you know, we'll see if they can get it together. It looks like nice even spread, though, on the NerVa team in terms of kills.
Yeah, they all do a pretty good job. Even if you look at their CCS stats, they all do a fairly good job splitting up all the kills. Not one person standing out, but not one doing really bad either.
That's all you can ask.
That is all you can ask. Gonna see another kitchen trophy hold here from the defenders, which is NerVa. No Mira. Not a bad idea. Not really a whole lot of use for Mira on this bomb site particularly.
Yeah. Looks like Paradox bringing the same lineup again on their attack as well for this. Seems to work out fairly well. So, questions: are they going to be able to get in, get control of that master, and make sure there's no roamers upstairs? Because that seems to be the big problem here for these guys.
Yeah, last time that's really what got them. So let's see if they can change the trend.
5 seconds to insertion.
Kind of curious. I'm always personally curious to see where Valkyrie puts her cans. I know some people don't like you looking at their cans, but this is the big leagues, boys. If you're going to play, people are going to see what you do. I more like to be able to see the value. You know, what exactly are they trying to accomplish with, you know, a certain camera? I feel like cameras can give you a lot of insight on what their strategy is as a whole. So if that's something that you take into account when you're playing, if you kill a cam in a certain area, think that they have that there for a reason. It's not just to see you there. It's more because of what that room affects, and, you know, as far as their setup goes.
Absolutely. It's definitely important. I mean, we're picking a whole operator for that. So.
2:24 left on the clock. They're trying to get up in this master. They have droned it off, so they know it's clear. They do have the roamer, but Mayhem looks like he's all the way back in the basement, so he's all the way out of the way. Atticus sitting over in the library. I do like how they're roaming together on the same side so they can trade if they need to. Lixo out on K9. He looks to get shots down, but Mayhem actually gets all the damage down. Does about 10 to Blackbeard, and he also takes away the shield. Fantastic gunplay by him. Wow, and someone got down through the drone hole, I believe. Oh, JT, no! He gets one. He knows they're all in there. Open up the window, throw a grenade. Mayhem takes out Atticus, so now it's 5v3. Very, very odd round so far.
Yeah.
Mayhem has worked his way back up into the library. Meanwhile, the attackers have made their way into the master bedroom, and they are using the fuse charges, praying for a lucky fuse charge pickup. JT underneath with Buck. He knows he's there. Vortex able to get Exalt. Good job by Jonimo to get the down onto Buck. So he's down also, but it is still 4v2 in favor of Paradox.
Yeah, with Vortex still alive, I'm favoring this for Paradox here. Take this to match point. It's all down.
And as soon as you say his name, and he's able to take out Jonimo just like that. So now it's all on Bandit, the lone warrior, sitting in this dining. They are on drone, so they know he's going to be here. It's pretty much just a matter of time before this one ends. Peeks him aggressively. Vortex, that disgusting little crouch shot right there, taps him right on the forehead and knocks him out. And now it's 4-2 match point for Paradox.
Nice dodge.
Yeah, I've been seeing that a lot lately, and I'm a big fan of the dodging. I wish the developers would cause some kind of penalty for crouching and proning. I don't think it really has a place in this game now. Whereas
Yeah.
crouching, I think that's strategical. If you can jiggle peek and you register to shoot at their head, you have to account for that. You aim down, he pops back up, you aim up. That's strategical. But let's be real honest. Go get an assault rifle and jump to your stomach and see how
Yeah.
accurately you're going to be able to shoot. I just don't like the way that it has affected
Well,
this
it's been
game.
said before, the easiest fix for that is just make people un-ADS if they change from standing to crouch, crouch to prone, etc.
Right.
Just take off their ADS for a second.
Attackers
Boom.
need to
Drop
locate and
shotting is
defuse
now
the bomb.
way more skillful.
Right. Now, I could agree with that. If you were just to remove the ability to ADS whenever they go fully prone, then it doesn't completely hinder people who are used to it, and if you're in a manageable situation, it'll benefit you. I can agree with that. That seems like a solid fix. Neither here nor there, because we are at round 7, match point for Paradox. All even coming into this game. Paradox was the lower ranked team. They came in at number 8. Meanwhile, NerVa coming in at number 6, but they were both 2-2. Their KDs pretty much the same, both at .99 something.
10 seconds to insert.
Rounds against favored NerVa a little bit, but Paradox doing a
5
very
seconds
good
to
job
insertion.
executing their game plan here on Chalet.
Attackers recovered the diffuser. Attackers must locate and defuse
Well,
the bomb.
definitely looking like Paradox might change their spot if this keeps going the way it's going.
They are going to be taking their time and playing for the front side of Trophy and the kitchen window. 20 seconds into the round. Pretty much on our own mission over here with Ash. Strolling about. Jonimal does have control of this Trophy window. Of course, it is the Blackbeard, so he's just going to push up here, probably pop it open, see what he can see, maybe cause some kind of grief.
Oh,
But
there's
Pulse
that
is
Pulse get
really
caught out.
close. Wow. Was he able to pick him? No, he doesn't get him. I thought he got some heavy
Jumped up.
damage down. He didn't even get any damage onto him.
He jumped right on the
Bomb has
display
been
case at the
located.
last possible second.
Very, very heads-up play by JT on Pulse there.
Attackers recovered the bomb.
A minute into the round, they're finally droning, and once again, they have the same reinforcements, but this time they reinforce the small wall. Exalt, though, on Habana is able to take out Vortex, so that Jaeger Rome is already down. A fantastic job. The Roamer problems that we talked about, not going to affect them as much this round. Of course, they do generally roam with one more.
Bomb located by
See
attackers.
if they can make any progress here, though. Minute 40 in. Not too bad to not be in just yet, but they probably should try and clear out and take more control, but there we go.
Exalt with the double kill. He's able to take out Heavy. So it's now 5v3. The hatch is finally going to be opened up, but so far they did a great job. They got all the roamers. They got what they had to do. Now it's just a matter of can they execute, get inside of the bomb site, get the bomb down. Excuse me, or get the diffuser down, as some people like to be upset with me. Jonimal taking out JT, though, showing the power of Blackbeard. Lixo getting the trade back onto Jonimal, though. Exalt getting his triple kill. So Mayhem, it's all left on Smoke here. 4v3, they dropped inside a kitchen. I don't think he knows he's there yet. He saw the grenade, so now he knows there is a camera. So oh no, and
Oh, no.
unfortunately Lixo
I don't
falls.
think that was intentional.
Yeah, I don't think that one particularly was intentional. I've done it before and been like, oh, look at me, I meant to do that. Not
Yeah,
really.
strats, lead strats.
It was all part of the plan, guys.
He wanted to stretch his legs, and now he's got his chance to clutch this out from the other side of the map.
Attackers are
A
activating
little bit
the
more
diffuser.
surprised on how long it took them to get the bomb down.
Yeah, right. It should have been a freebie. Now the question is, can he surprise kill 4? Because once you kill the first one, the other 3 know where you're at. So good luck. I mean, he's got 3 smokes left. I guess that could help him.
You have to wonder why he still has 3 smokes left is really the ultimate question. Candace
Didn't do
should have
his
went
job.
down a little bit earlier. You can't be holding on to those as smoke. Everyone knew it was coming in. Actually, I believe that was a 4K for Exalt at the end of that round. I'm 100% certain that it was a 3K, but I'm fairly positive that was a 4K. Wow! That was a disgusting little shot right there.
Nicely done. Now that's NerVa coming back again. No one wanted to give them, but they still have to win another round to stay in it. Because if Paradox take this next round, then that's it. It's not overtime. So
I want to ask you real quick, what do you think that NerVa needs to do at this point? We've seen everything. Each team has seen each bomb site, and they know exactly what each other is going to do. So if you're NerVa in this point, Emzo, what do you do differently to take it from being one behind to being tied and one in front of them?
So This particular bomb site is the one where we
Attackers
saw
need to
them make the
locate and
biggest
defuse
mess up on their
bombs.
defense here. So that is it right there. I mean, you shore up what you goofed up last time by making sure you have a more solid defense here, that you don't just let someone like Blackbeard walk into the room, that when you fall back well and have your crossfire set up like we were talking about, so that you can just hold them back because they didn't open the garage door, like the snowmobile garage door. And that was a big weakness in their attack because they didn't have the ability to do any kind of pinch, and they let them just fall back to the snowmobile garage and be able to regroup there. So, if I'm Paradox side, I'm going to open that garage door this time. But if I'm
10
NerVa,
seconds
I'm going to
left
stop
before insertion.
whipping those shots there. Make sure you have something to counter that Blackbeard
5 seconds
properly
left
this
before
time, whether it be the Habana, or I mean the Mira or whatever it is, to make sure you can
Attackers
stop that,
recovered
because
the bomb
that's
diffuser.
really what happened
Attackers'
last time,
objective
just
is
them
to locate a
goofing
bomb
up that
and defuse
actual
it.
push.
Right, I would agree. They probably had the last round, but to just negligently let him walk in there when you could easily trade it out. So you fixed that one, but fortunately Paradox knew it was going to be here. They brought the thermite once again, so they do have the setup prepared. They have the Buck. I like Buck on this because if you can get control of this kitchen and dining, the
located
bar,
by attackers.
and the game room, then you can actually open a hole all the way up from the doorway toward dining, and it sees all the way down into the garage door, so whenever Bandit's trying to trick it, you can easily get a free kill.
Yeah, I mean, they have Thatcher, they have Thermite, they have Habana, they can whatever they want. They need to do it quick, so they have plenty of time to get the kills they need to get once they got things open. So Thermite, he didn't do the garage wall. Again, that I think mistake, that opening the garage too. It's not like they're going to run out and kill you from it. It just forces them to have to watch their backs inside snowmobile.
Wow, and he thought he saw something he didn't, so Heavy's able to get the kill on a Geonimal, and that's another mistake made. Wow, Heavy getting the double kill. Didn't really look like a headshot, but it rolled right up his body and killed him right in the face. Mayhem able to get another one. Wow, 3 back-to-back kills.
Goodbye, NerVa.
Wow, Mayhem, he has his own double kill. Both going for that triple kill, saying, I'm better than you this round. RTC on the backside here. Lixo gonna take him. He didn't even have a shield on. A little bit of an arrogant kill. But GG's going across, and that's going to be the 5-3 win for Paradox on map 1.
It's a good start there. They definitely had some rounds. They just couldn't quite get what they needed to going on. But 5-3 kind of shows that they definitely knew that map better, knew how to play it better. Again, I still think it was a mistake not opening the garage door, but they totally capitalized on the mistakes made by, for example, Mira to start with, and then just winning kill after kill in there. I have a feeling NerVa probably peaked too aggressively, like when they weren't in a good position to yet, and that cost them because the attackers were ready for it. They had their angles already set up.
Right.
So they just peeked into bullets probably. It's unfortunate. But hey, next map I think is NerVa. No, I think that was NerVa's map, wasn't it?
I would have to double check.
I'm trying to remember now.
Pretty sure I still have the link up. So that was NerVa's pick. Next pick is Border, which was Paradox chose that map.
Yeah, that's definitely been leaning in the favor of Paradox here. Like I was saying, if one team wins the other map, a good sign that they might take it all the way.
Yeah, it definitely makes it easier for your victory. So on that note, we are going to take a little 5-minute break in between maps like we always do. Allow the players to do their thing, get the restroom, get a drink if they need to, let you guys stretch your legs out. Appreciate each and every one of you guys hanging out with us so far, and we will be back in just a few moments.
So tell me straight, I won't go. This is our time now, I'm sure. Make no mistake that we are closer than we're far. Embrace for impact and fight your fears far. Embrace for impact. I'm And so tell me straight, I won't go. This is our time now, I'm sure. Make no mistake that we are closer than we're far. Brace for impact, fight your fears fire. Brace for impact, I'm the future's engineer, and baby I'm here. And baby I'm here. And baby I'm here. Brace for impact, fight your fears fire. Brace for impact, I'm the future's engineer, and baby I'm here. And baby I'm here. And baby I'm here.
All right. I think that the guys are ready to try to get their stuff back going. And we are going to be trying to get back into this ourselves. 1 second so I can get the sound back to Emzo. Pretty sure the teams are ready.
Yeah.
Emzo, are you ready?
I am ready to see this border get off.
I am ready for it. First map went over to Paradox. They won 5-3 on Chalet. Chalet was NerVa's pick, so it's going to be a little bit of an uphill battle, especially now that it's going to be the preferred map by Paradox. Of course, they could have both wanted both maps, but this is the one that they said, hey, I want this map. I want to take you on this map. Oregon is the decider if it gets there. The question is, will it get to map 3?
Not looking like it so far, but, especially if Vortex has his way. We'll see. Could go either way. Border is pretty well established meta by now as well, but this is one where roamers can really do some damage as well, and we've seen that's been a weakness some of the time on Chalet, so could be something that factors in huge on this map. We'll see.
I missed sound for some reason.
Oh, you're cutting out.
Double checking. I don't hear any game sounds currently.
Yep.
We'll see. This is the first map, though, or first round, excuse me, on Border. We have Atticus on Ash, Thatcher, Blackbeard, Twitch, Thermite, Mira on defense. Love Mira on that defensive hold for Armory. Lots of different ways to use it. If I do recall right, I'm pretty sure Paradox have recently been trying something new and intriguing. So let's see if they bring it out here.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by
One of the
attackers.
joys of being a player is you get a little insight sometimes. Haha. I know and you don't. It is just me, Fluffy. All right, let's see where Heavy chooses to put his Miras on this map, though.
Attackers have discovered the location of a bomb.
If you were to choose, Emzo, where would you prefer to put them yourself? What do you think
One
is the
on the
most
back
useful?
One on small office wall and one on the back office wall where I put up that reinforced wall.
Right.
Those for sure the two. Like, I mean, you can alter either of those two walls can be good depending on how you want to play it. That and the small office wall. I mean, it just works generally well unless people actually counter it, but people usually don't. And putting it on the actual A wall, usually I don't see it work out nearly as well as when you put it on the small office wall. And I mean, I don't know. It depends on if the team tends to attack the offices. Like, then you really want to make sure you have that one on the back office there to help counter that. So, and it looks like they do. I mean, they're droning it right now potentially, so they are probably going to go for an attack on that side. It makes for a good pinch, if nothing else.
Right. So here we go, 30 seconds into a round, and not a whole lot going on.
At least they brought the Twitch drone to try and do something about these mirror windows, but will it do that or not? I'm not sure because I did see it. Could be hard to get it in depending on the bomb spot.
And they do have this
A bomb has been located.
office wall open already. Paradox is on, or excuse me, Exalt is on this AC unit window, doing Blackbeard things, just holding the angle. He has fell back. He's going to drone himself in, kind of get a spot on people.
Yeah, it's one of those things you see pretty much every time there's a Blackbeard. He's on that AC unit. It's just his thing on this attack. Rarely changes.
Attic has made his way all the way into the office already. Vortex able to get the shots on the Vex, so he's down.
He's playing this aggressive in the East stairwell.
Very
here.
aggressive East play.
Ooh.
Oh, and he almost had it. I like his use of how he laid down there. He used the panels of the door, give him a little bit of cover so they couldn't exactly see where he was. He almost was able to get the shots fully onto him. He knows there's a couple of them over there. He is now taken very, very low. Probably about 15 health. C4 trying to go up there. It doesn't do any damage at all. RTC's on Thatcher. Cheeky little spot that he figures, might as well look. I did create it. Now they do have two into the office. Thermite finally opening the east side wall of this office into the archives. Heavy is in there. Heavy gets the kill onto Exalt. Mayhem gets the kill onto Jonimal. Wow, JT gets the kill on Atticus, and he also says, you know what, I'm going for the double. Takes out RTC as well, and round one going over to Paradox. And like you might have thought, definitely showed why they picked this map.
Just slaughtered him. Even the observer couldn't keep up with the action. It was just too fast. There was like 3-4 kills all in a row at the end there. And that's what happens when you overcommit to pushing offices when they're actually prepared for it. I mean, some of it was helped by Vortex holding that east stairwell, them not getting control of the east stairwell is pretty much death for anyone trying to push offices. As soon as they lost control of that, like that, and the guy died there, that's where they should have. They should have been ready to say, you know what? Unless we can take that back and come around from behind him or something, it's just not going to happen. It cost them big time.
Yeah, it cost them really big. But you know, it's just the first round. You can always come back from that. It's not really a big deal.
Absolutely. Hopefully they just, the next time they go to defend it, they don't make that mistake again. Or I mean, attack it rather.
Right.
So we'll see how they set it up. See if they have a different setup in terms of that.
Yeah, looks like they're also bringing the mirror, so I'm curious to see what they're going to do with it. If they're going to put him in the exact same spot, or if they're going to switch where they're going to put him.
10 seconds to insertion.
Let's see. Are they going to put, there's the small office window there.
5 seconds remaining.
Talking about. Not that the other team even attacked from that side. And that could be the hard part too, is if you overcommit to one side in terms of resource, and you're not prepared for the other side, especially if they pinch it, then it's like, it can be difficult to hold this site from that if they're prepared as well to attack whatever they need to.
So let's see what they are going to do. 15 seconds into the round, not a whole lot of time off the clock. They're pushing forward. Blackbeard pushing toward this bus to try to get up on top of that AC unit and hold that window, get that cutoff.
See, they're definitely thinking that it's going to come from the AWOL side.
You
A
have
lot of drones here.
And of course, it is going to be coming from this office side. They do have control of the outside. Mayhem has pushed into the top of the east stairs, so he's right below that fan.
You see how they actually controlled it this time? Unlike NerVa. Trying to get some cheeky peeks. He's not even on the AC unit yet.
And he's a little weary. They did a good job opening up those windows, if anything, just to slow down his way up there. Lixo able to get RTC, though, as he was trying to peek him. Atticus getting the kill onto JT. It's a little back and forth action. It's a 4v4 now. 1:45 left in this round.
Clear. Disabling electronics.
I'm getting some more walls open here. Making some progress, but it seems like it's costing them a bit.
A lot of time burned off a clock, only a minute and 25 left, but the Thermite was able to open up that side wall. Mayhem on Thatcher, he's able to get a kill on Atticus. So the first favor for this round, it's now 4v3 for Paradox.
So it's looking good. I mean, they killed the smoke. That's the big.
He knows he's there, he gets the shots down. Oh no! A little bit of potato by both of them.
Ooh, crossfire though.
Wow, good crossfire, good use of the flash grenade. Mayhem picks up his double there and finishes him off. So Smoke, Mira, and Jaeger all killed for this round. 53 seconds left. He's going to be putting the Claymore down.
A really big fucking hole coming right up.
They definitely are dominating them right now.
Thermite finally opening up this Archives wall, looking to push in and get that bomb down. Mayhem getting his triple kill, killing Vex. Now it's all left on Bandit. I feel like I've said it a lot between these maps. It's all left on Bandit here, and Vortex finishes him off with the easy cross headshot. So now 2-0 for Paradox, man.
Whew, it feels bad. Like, that was a good attack. Again, it was overcommitting to offices, but they managed to make it work because they won all their gunfights, and they actually controlled the east stairwell instead of just hoping it would work out. Mayhem and Vortex seem to do a lot of work for their team in terms of kills. But I like they're setting up crossfires, they're flanking for each other, they're properly covering.
Right.
Like, that's what NerVa's not doing, and it's costing them big time. They're already down 2 rounds.
Well, let's see what they can do here. See if they can't change it up. Paradox going to be on defense. We're going to see our first defensive hold for Ventilation Room / Workshop. Bringing the Mira here also is one of 2 ways you can use it. I've seen people put it on a soft wall with a castle, like the standard castle set up in a bathroom. You can put it on the soft wall to be able to see the hatch. A different way to play it. You can also put it upstairs in that small office like you would if you were playing upstairs to give a little bit of extra control toward that wall, the entry reinforcement wall.
Yeah, there's definitely some more creative ways to play this to an extent. But I think the big thing is worrying about that bathroom. That's where the attack tends to come from a lot of times when it's successful, because otherwise they're forced through hatches. And most of the time they're not going to attack B. we rarely see a B attack and plant, which is funny because in some ways it actually should be easier because it's rarely defended from inside. It's just mostly defended from outside, and it's a situation where you could potentially smoke it off and things like that. But it just, I don't know, teams don't seem to be that interested in trying to make that work. They'd rather take work shot from the side or from the hatches and then just plant in the middle of it.
Right, I'm a firm believer that you clear upstairs, you get control, but then everyone but say your buck or your sledge or whoever has any kind of breaching power, that's the only one to stay upstairs. Everyone else get out, take that ventilation room. It's so easy to get in from that front side and cover all the angles, especially once you have the control of the upstairs. So let's see how they do it.
The way I feel about this particular attack, though, is you need to know how they're splitting. If they have 3 up top, attack the bottom. If they have 2 up top, attack the top. Because I find that whenever you're attacking the 3, that's the attack that tends to lose way too many people to make it work. If they only have 2 up top, it tends to work pretty well in killing them out because they can't cover enough area. But if they have 3, they tend to be able to get the right angles and win at least some of the trades, making it so that it becomes a hatch fight at the end. So I think that's, for me, been the determining factor in almost all the matches I've watched that decides whether or not you're successful. Ooh, nice start for Exalt, though.
Yeah, Exalt able to get a kill with Blackbeard onto JT from that AC unit window. 5v4 in favor of NerVa this round. 145 left in the round currently. A little bit of spraying coming down to open up that door. Like we said, Heavy is playing in this small office with that mirror. They're trying to hold them out. Sledge opening up a little bit right here. And actually that very tiny little hole he opened up allows you to see all the way back into that wood rack that people can hide up inside of. Bex able to get a kill on the Mayhem. And now it's 5v3.
Looking good here for NerVa to actually win their first round.
They definitely need to get the momentum switch back in their favor somehow. So this could be a really big round for them. Jonimo taking out Heavy. Good shot coming down. He was looking at him from the top of the stairs and got the kill all the way down at the bottom of the stairs. Smoke looking up at that hatch with a shotgun ready for anyone who might try to fall. They do have 55 seconds left, so really plenty of time considering it's 5v2. Shots going down from Exalt. Vortex had no clue he was there. A nice clean pickup by Exalt.
5 against 1. You can do this, Lixo clutch or kick.
You just joined the team and shown why you belong here, and no, he gets slapped in the mouth with a flash grenade. No one really looking to push it, though. They do drone him out, so they know he's in the corner. It's all him.
I like how he's watching for his cross, but he just left his back completely open to where he knew they were actually coming from.
Yeah, under those circumstances, not a whole lot for him to do, but they got the kill, they got the round, so they did get some momentum back in their favor after taking round 3, so it's 2-1 Paradox. Map 1 did go over to Paradox. They won that one 5-3 on Chalet. It is a best of 3. It's week 5.
That was a really good attack, though. That was they didn't lose a single man on that attack. So
they did not. They did a very good job getting inside, droning them out, doing what they had to do to obtain control. They got the picks. They landed their shots. They pushed through. They pretty much just threw their weight around and said, hey, buddy, this is my site. I'm going to go ahead and take it and plant the bomb. So they didn't even have to plant the bomb. They just killed each and every one of them.
Well, let's see. If they can win the upstairs, then we'll see how they defend it. But so far, not looking like we're going to get to see NerVa defending that downstairs anytime soon. That obviously is a weakness of Paradox. But NerVa not able to defend this at all so far is a weakness of theirs, which is unfortunate for them because this is the better bomb site.
Yeah, this is the harder bomb site to hold. If they can hold this one, they have a good chance. You know, hold this one, win your next attack. The next attack will be, I believe, they should be back upstairs defending the same thing from Paradox. So. Or, yeah, for Paradox. So this is going to be a very pivotal round, I think. Honestly, if they can't win this round, they won't be able to win this round. But if they win this round, they have a chance.
5 seconds remaining.
And that's what I'm going to call. Boom.
Attackers have recovered their diffuser.
Attackers bringing that good lineup here to be able to hit this up. About the same questions. It looks like they're going for that office's take again. The way JT is rushing over to this east side. Now again, they're going to hopefully have to take control of that stairwell. They already had the drone in it, which was smart from JT, making sure that he had that prepared. Because if the drone was dead, then he would have known there's probably someone in there. Spotting them out, though. That's some good intel to start with to make this push. They don't even reinforce it either, so.
And he knows that he's safe to push in, so he's gonna just open that up for his buddy, let him move on up that east stairs. Blackbeard still playing the tango, trying to get up on that AT unit. Everyone knows it's a powerful spot, so you're gonna see more and more people investing resources to stop him from even getting up there. That's the best way to counter that position, honestly.
Looking good. They're
Get
just,
up the ladder, though.
yeah, they're all just kind of getting in positions right now, getting stuff open, getting ready for this attack, bringing up the utility operators. Looking pretty good so far. You can kind of see the NerVa guys getting a little antsy, trying to figure out where the push is going to start from, so that they're prepared to counter it.
So far, so good
see.
for them, though. They have eaten a minute off the clock, a minute and 15, excuse me. So the flashes are finally coming in. I'm pretty sure that Vlex just got completely blinded. Oh wow, but a beautiful shot by Jono using that Mira on the side of the fountain wall. He gets the kill, so JT's gone. That's one of their heavy fraggers. Ash is out of the equation. 1:30 left in this round. It's 5v4. Vortex able to get the kill on the Vex, though, so now it's 4v4. Blackbeard is up on the AC unit window. He's laying down the fire that he needs to. He's cut off that cross entirely. Vortex putting some pre-fire into the side of that archives wall, wall that is not reinforced. Very excited. This is very, very exciting round. 1 minute left. It's kind of all going to come down to this. Where will the push be, and will they be able to execute it?
Stuff coming soon here. You start hear stuff opening up. Mira's walls going down.
Mayhem gets a kill on the Atticus.
Ooh,
Mayhem gets a double kill. He takes out Johnable too. So now it's a 4v2 in favor of the defenders, or the attackers, excuse me. So Paradox looking to take this round and go up 3-1. 40 seconds left. It's all on Bandit and all on Smoke.
all on Bandit again.
Once again, Bandit being the proven guy to sit in the corner.
If they can kill Smoke, then Bandit's going to have a heck of a time delaying them off. So hopefully they can pick him off first, because he's going to be the real problem for him. But he's already down to one gas canister left, though.
Oh,
nope.
And Mayhem gets his triple kill. Nice headshot on the RTC whenever he was trying to get that canister out. He pushes inside of the small office. Vortex says, I don't think so. Exalt goes down, and it's now 3-1 in favor of Paradox. Looking strong on their map pick.
I'm seeing a very familiar pattern here. Mayhem laying in a lot of initial kills, and Vortex coming in and cleaning up at the end. It seems to be a repeating pattern for Paradox.
Yeah.
That's working out quite well for them. I like how they were a bit better adapted for an Office's take that time, but they still just could not win enough of those gunfights. They just couldn't stop that push. It was just steamrolling over them. You see Mayhem right there with an appropriate name for just the sheer carnage he was causing on their team, decimating them. And that was it right there. You see 2s and 1s on the NerVa side. Just no one there, really, they're heavy hitters.
Man, at 7 kills right now, 7 and 1. He's doing honestly, he's doing a fantastic job on border. Looks like this is his map currently.
Sure is. So far, 3-1. This looks familiar. So we'll see if this goes the way of Chalet or not. It's certainly looking that way so far. And last time when we were in this position on Chalet, NerVa managed to pick up another point. Then it went to 4 for Paradox, and then I believe one more point maybe for NerVa before it went to 5-3 in the end.
Right. Yeah.
So we'll see if it ends up the similar way or not. Now this is a site that Paradox have already defended before, and NerVa should know how to attack it, but they fell apart when they let Vortex hang out in the east stairwell that last time.
Right.
So hopefully they don't make that mistake again.
He's the one that picked up the one and then was able to get the second one. So they know what's going on. They know where they're going to be coming from. As you saw, Vortex jumped out there to throw a camera. So they're going to have all eyes on that Blackbeard. And I'm a little blown away. It doesn't seem like anyone even has attempted to go towards the quote-unquote pillbox on the other side by the security.
Yeah, no one wants A. It's not worth it. And I don't think anyone's made a single plant so far. It's been all kills.
Yeah, it's been mostly slaying, which shows you how difficult this site is to get into.
Yeah, just can't get a plant down. But hey, if you kill everyone, that's fine too. Vortex starting it off early though. My goodness, must have been using his cameras to get a cheeky peek. So Twitch not going to be there to take down the mirror windows now. Oh, Vortex tried.
And he tried to use that vault camera to play aggressively. Wasn't able to get the kill. Oh, wow, and Heavy says, you know what, I still know you're there, Blackbeard. He pushes all the way outside. Is able to get the kill, so he gets the trade back. But it is 5v3. I'm not sure where the other guy fell, but RTC on Twitch went down also. It's only been a minute into this round, so once again, it's still in favor of the defenders.
My goodness, that was definitely a start there. Looks like they want to shut this out quickly. They're not going to mess around. Nicely done.
Reloading mag.
140 left on the clock. They still haven't made their way into this office side, and they are down a man. They're also down 2 rounds, so their backs are going to be up against the wall. Little pre-C4 rip here by Heavy. No one over there, though, so you're going to be holding on to that one for a while. Slowly pushing their way down this hallway. I'm not sure if they were spotted on that Mira. Looks like they were.
See if a minute 12 left. Plenty of time to take out 3 more. They can get into the right positions here, which it looks like they're doing pretty heavily.
Yeah, I like their positioning here because they're kind of going to throw them off. All the resources are currently being invested into this Archives office side hold. So if they can get a rotation around, I believe Thermite does have one more wall, but it doesn't matter because JT pushes all the way around. He used that intel from the camera in the hallway that they left up and took out Jonimal. So now it's 4v2.
Feels bad. That was definitely a good pick. Oh.
Vex is able to get the kill onto Lixo, but JT takes the kill onto Atticus. So now it's all on Thatcher.
Nicely
Ooh,
done.
Nice job. A little bit too much of a slow peek there. JT walked right into his crosshairs, so an easy pickup for Vex.
20 seconds left, though, and he's still got to try and make something happen here against 2 attackers who are looking right at him, or defenders, rather. Easy win.
Yeah, Mira's
Heavy
going to
there.
win that every single time there, and now it's 4-1, match point for Paradox, and it's also game point for week 5.
I just remember when they when I first heard the rumors of the mirror window thing, I thought that was such a stupid idea at first. But like once you actually really see how it's used, it's so much a part of the meta now, because the ability to like strafe to the side with your crosshair already aimed on their face is just such a huge thing for this game.
Yeah.
It's really made a huge impact in it, and that impact is so far in the favor of Paradox at match point. Christ.
I love Mira. I was like you. I was very skeptical at first. I was like, what is this gimmicky stuff that you continue to put in the game? But I think the more and more it goes, I like, I'm not a huge fan of Echo and the Yokai, but it has its places. It's not going to be played all the time. So in a situation like that, I can tolerate whatever you're going to put in the game. But then you look at someone like Mira, and Mira doesn't just come in and have a place. Mira completely changes the dynamics in which it can be played. And I love the layers of strategy that it's added to the game. So, because no longer is it, this is how you hold this, now it's, you also can hold it like this or like this, because we have this new line of sight that was never once available to us.
Yeah, definitely looking to see forward. I mean, it's a bummer that we didn't get
10 seconds remaining.
because of Operation Health, but I'm really looking forward to seeing what kind of meta shaking up stuff we'll see next time.
Yeah.
Now the glass has been toned down a bit.
Honestly, you don't even see the pros playing them, so I like it. They force the smokes off of the ops. It doesn't fix glass, but I guess if no one's going to play it, then heck yeah, whatever you did, thank you. Good riddance.
Now they just need to do something about Ash, because giving Ash flashbangs probably didn't help the situation.
Yeah, Ash for some reason feels like almost a 4-speed sometimes.
Yeah. It's because, luckily they're reworking the hitboxes, but I think it's not working out in people's favor in terms of Ash. I think it's making Ash even stronger. So let's see if Lixo can get in his proper position without getting picked off from window. They didn't open it, so easy climb up for him. They probably should at least open that window and make it harder for him, because he just walks right up like he needs to.
He's already in there, so
Wow.
they have control. Wow.
They boarded off that door and just let him just come on into B and hang out.
Yeah, I'm not sure that I would recommend giving up the archives freely, but Exalt doesn't care. He takes out Vortex. A nice crisp headshot on that hole that was made. So NerVa with a little bit of life left in them. It's 5v4, 150 left on the clock in round 6. It's 4-1 in favor, match point. JT able to get the kill on a Vex. Vex gets a trade right back onto JT.
Double KO.
Double KO. Never makes sense, but always happens. It's 4v3 now in favor of NerVa. But just as I say that, Mayhem, he gets a kill on Exalt, so he's no longer in the equation. 1:30 left on the clock. They do have control of the upstairs. Now it's just a matter of how are they going to push it and how are they going to do it from here. Smile for the camera.
Ooh, a little bit of tase. Yeah, he's looking for anything else out here. They're really taking control of the top floor. but it did cost them dearly losing 2 operators there. They lost the Habana, but hatches are open, so looks like we're going to see typical castle use here. But it's a little late, having trouble hitting that drone as well.
Did
So-
spot him, so he knows he's
Ooh,
there.
nice.
He takes out the Blackbeard shield, but Lixo got the kill anyways.
Good trade.
Yeah, very good
That's
job
what
by
the shield's
him.
for.
That's exactly what the shield's for. And I like the
Attackers
change
have
up in
located a
Blackbeard. He
bomb.
used to be unbearable, and I think that he's in a pretty good spot right now.
Whoa,
Good job
of course.
by Mayhem. Now it's all on Castle. Wow. Okay, so Mayhem didn't get the kill. It looked like we had a dropping headshot,
Yeah.
but really it came from Lixo on that Blackbeard. He pushed inside of the
combo.
ventilation room. Interesting
that's
choice to
GG.
use that silencer nonstop.
Well, we see why that was Paradox's map.
Yeah, definitely.
5-1.
Definitely their map, and I personally played them recently, and they did pretty good. This and Oregon are probably 2 of their stronger maps. So I knew once it got here, it was going to be very difficult for NerVa, especially with the implementation of a new member. Lixo might be new, but he's a very experienced player, so that transition shouldn't have been too difficult for them.
Well, that's good for Paradox to move their way up the numbers now.
And that should put them at 3-2. We will know after this. These are the final 3 matches of Week 5. Unfortunately, the next match isn't all the way until 9:30.